So welcome to the last YouTube session here at MPAI 600. And I just want to briefly go over the fine points of the class and wish you the best for your future endeavors. So just quick announcements. Again, the Zoom sessions are next week. Please be ready to brief if you're in groups 4, 5, and 6. And be prepared for job talk. I will discuss jobs, careers in the national security field during those Zoom sessions. So next week, there's some voluntary articles on artificial intelligence and the future of AI. But really, again, the week's for you to focus on your paper and your final. I'm available all week if you have questions on your final or any questions on the final paper. I'm available. I can sit and talk via Zoom or at the Zoom sessions, or we can talk on the phone or figure something out so you can or answer any questions. So the course is done for all intents and purposes, and so congratulations on for most of you, your first course in this program. And I hope, again, that the key lessons to take away from this course. First, we had a few sections on the fundamentals of intelligence, what collection is, collection strategy, the ints, and those types of issues. So I hope you can at least have an understanding, if you didn't have an understanding of those things going forward. And then as we moved forward in the class, we talked about psychology of intelligence, or we briefly talked about critical thinking fallacies and failures, which was illustrated in the confessions, I think, very well. It was also illustrated in the other case studies. But those fallacies are relevant whether you're in local law enforcement, national level, business intelligence. We all have our own biases. And the point is not to eliminate these biases. We all have them, but to recognize when you or somebody else is falling into these biases or falling into these analytical traps that you can take steps to rectify. So from there, we went to history. We talked about Pearl Harbor, Yom Kippur War, Iraq WMD, 9/11. And the point is not to give a history lesson, but to understand how the intelligence dimension of each one of those issues was. We can agree or disagree on what was the intelligence failure on each of those, but I think there was definitely an intelligence dimension. And I think it's important that you recognize it and you see the case studies relevant in current events. And just as an example, again, we talked Pearl Harbor. I think those same fallacies that you saw in Pearl Harbor are relevant in the Russia case study that you have in your final. They're relevant to other case studies as well. So we keep kind of repeating these issues. And then for the final portion of the course, we went into those individual tracks that you guys are studying in depth. Counterterrorism with the 9/11 case studies or post 9/11 case studies. Criminal intelligence in this case was more focused on larger scale reductions in crime. You'll go into other details in future classes, and then we touched on the business intelligence sections for the few of you that are in that track as well. So I hope, again, you've taken away these lessons to not just the remainder of the program, but as well as your current jobs. And as I mentioned before, I think as Georgetown paying customers, I think you get me as a resource. I can't speak for every adjunct out there, but you think you get me as a resource for jobs, for questions, or any of those other issues. So feel free to link in with me. Feel free to drop a note to me when you're graduating from the program a year from now and you have questions about careers, or if you just want to grab coffee and talk in detail, I'm available for that. So good luck on the final, and good luck with the remainder of the program.